So the control of the British government in India transferred to the British Crown. Right. Second one, the Minister of British Government, Minister of British Government, called Secretary of State in India, Secretary of State, right, for India, made responsible for the governance of India, right? Governance of India. Then the British Governor General, now being called, right, given the title of Viceroy. Given the title of Viceroy, and who was made responsible to the who was representative of, right, made okay, I can consider, who was a representative of the monarch, right? Monarch, Rajgharana. Fine. Then after this, British pursued the policy of divide and rule. Divide and rule. Right. After this, again, some changes which are called far reaching, right? So long way changes. Made in the administration. Also, they have increased, right? Increase in white soldiers or British soldiers in army. And the last impact you can, second last impact you can consider. So total expenses of suppression of revolt. Suppression right, throne to the right, people of India, on the people of India. And the last point you can consider, that was really important through the point of view of the Indians or the national movement. So it became, right, revolt became a symbol of total expenses of separation, right, separation. So whatever the revolt has to suppress, right, तो उठाव जो दाबला गेला किंवा तो उठाव जो शमवला, right, so whatever may be the expenses have been there to control the revolt of 1857. So that where all these expenses were thrown on the people of India. हे सगळे भारतीय लोकांकडूनच वसूल केले. And this revolt became a symbol, right. Viceroy, it's not a double E, it's a C, right. So given the title of Viceroy, so Viceroy is nothing but the designation, right, which was earlier known as the British Governor General. Right, challenge to what? Challenge to the mighty British Empire. British Empire, right? That is in British Empire in India, and it remained as a shining star for the rise and growth of the Indian national movement. Indian national movement, right? So this is what you can consider about all the impacts, right, or the various kinds of impacts the revolt of 1857 had made, right? So how it had affected. So the revolt of 1857 affected in this way, right? And now you can consider the next phase, right? In the what you can say, the modern history of India, right? Modern history of India, and that is nothing but the modern phase, or you can call it as the modern phase, right? Sorry, moderate phase, which was from 1885 to 1905. So these were the 20 years. You can see what had happened in 1885. The establishment, there had been established the Indian National Congress, right, in Bombay. So before the establishment of the Congress, there had been some of the other organizations, right? So, which are called important organizations before Congress. I will just give you the names, right? So, very first organization, name of that organization was Landholder Society, which was placed or which was in the Calcutta, that was established in 1837, and the founder of this was Dwarkanath Tagore. Related to the independence or the national. Again, Devendranath Tagore had established British India Association at Calcutta in 1851. Then C.Y. Mudaliar at Madras in 1852 established Madras Native Association. Madras Native Association by C.Y. Mudaliar in Madras, that is in the year of 1852. Then East India Association at London in 1866 by Dadabhai Nauroji. Right, so Dadabhai Nauroji established East India Association at London in 1866. Then S.H. Chiplunkar, G.V. Joshi, and M.G. Ranade. Right, Chiplunkar, Joshi, and Ranade. They have established Pune Sarvajanik Sabha at Pune, I mean today's Pune, in 1870. Right. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha at Pune in 1870 by Chiplunkar, Joshi, and Ranade. Someone had asked about earlier. So it was East India Association, that is in London in 1866 by Dadabhai Nauroji. Then Indian Society was established at London in 1872 by Anand Mohan Bose. Anand Mohan Bose. Then Shishir Kumar Ghosh in Calcutta in 1875 established Indian League. Indian League at Calcutta in 1875, established by Shishir Kumar Ghosh. Then Surendranath Banerjee and Anand Mohan Bose have established Indian Association at Calcutta in 1876. In 1876. Then another organization, that is called Madras Mahajan Sabha, established in Madras in 1884 by Rangiya Naidu, Raghavachari, Anand Charlu, and G.S. Iyer. Right, Madras Mahajan Sabha at Madras in 1884. And another, I think probably last one, that is Bombay Presidency Association. Bombay Presidency Association, established in Bombay So Bombay Presidency Association at Bombay in 1885, right? And it was established or founded by Firoz Shah Mehta, K.T. Tailang, and Badruddin Tayyabji. So these were some of the organizations which had been prior to the foundation of the Indian National Congress, INC, right? So you can consider the Indian National Congress. Right, which was termed as INC. Fine. So, see, prior to Indian National Congress, there had been Indian National Union. There had been Indian National Union, which was formed in 1884 by A.O. Hume. So, who was an Englishman and a retired civil servant in association with various national leaders who called for a conference in Pune in December 1885. Right, and it was decided that in the same year in Pune only, the Indian National Congress is being to establish. But as like pandemic, right? Today we do have a pandemic situation. So as like so Akshay, what is meant by two? No, not parallelly. See, in 1884, it was Indian National Union. Right, it was Indian National Union. And later on, it had become Indian National Congress. Right. So, what I was discussing that as like this pandemic at that time, there had been a what you can consider the situation of cholera. Right, the cholera ji saat ali hoti, and because of that, it was decided that instead of in Pune, it had moved to Bombay. Right. Otherwise, basically, it was decided to be at Pune. Right. So whatever you can consider. So whatever today's Congress you are seeing, that is of that this one. Right. So this conference received unanimous support of all Indian leaders. But the venue was shifted to Bombay, as I said, because of the outbreak of cholera in Pune. So leaders have decided to rename this Indian National Union as Indian National Congress. Right. So it was decided to rename. And then the first session of the Indian National Congress was held at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, that is in Bombay, under the presidency of who was the first president of Indian National Congress? Who was a veteran lawyer of Calcutta. Right. He was lawyer from Calcutta. And the name is W.C. Banerjee. Right. So we have seen first male. Right. So first male of India in that in different organizations or whatever may be the first by male. So this is of that particular category. Got it? So W.C. Banerjee, right, who was the lawyer of Calcutta. So it was attended by 72 delegates from all over India. From 1885 onwards, the Indian National Congress met every year, right? Every year, yes, and its cause spread rapidly among middle class Indians. Right. So, with the foundation of Indian National Congress in 1885, the struggle for India's independence was launched. Yes, exactly. It was established, you can consider, in 1885. Right, though it was in 1884. Right. Uh, Aditya, I think this is not that much simple thing, right? It has a comprehensive meaning, right? So you have to always consider not only the meaning of Congress in India, but also at different places. Right? So it has some relevance with uh, the Congress at USA, Congress at uh, European countries, right? So probably in another session we can consider that particular word, right? So after the foundation of Indian National Congress in 1885, the struggle for India's independence was launched, right? In yes, exactly, launched in small, hesitant, and mild but organized manner. Right? So that is what you can consider, right? So then the first decade of Indian National Congress was described in history as the moderate demand, as the phase of moderate demand and the sense of confidence in the British justice and generosity. Right? Though it was established for the purpose of India's independence, but they were very generous, right? And they have a sense of confidence in British justice, right? That is what first decade of this conference you can consider. But their aim was to get the independence without being aggressive, right? So that is what by perceiving the Britishers, right? So this resulted in Indian Council Act of 1892, which allowed some members to be indirectly elected by Indians, right? So this is what you can consider as far as the Indian National Congress is concerned, right? So I can, right? So Indian National Union, Indian National, right? Formed in 1884 by A. O. Hume. A. O. Hume. Right? So, who was Englishman and retired civil servant. Right? But he was associated with various national leaders. So he had established Indian National Union with different leaders, right? Particularly national leaders, right? And all these have called in a conference in Pune in December 1885. Right? So in 1885 at Pune, the conference of Indian National Union, right? As I said, he was Englishman and retired civil servant. That so obviously he had left aim of his life to be uh, to be utilized for the social cause, whether it is Indian society or English, it doesn't matter, right? For the sake of betterment of the society. So at Pune, the conference received unanimous support of Indian leaders. This is very important. म्हणजे कुठलंही काय म्हणता येईल एकमतानं unanimously, right? Received unanimous support of all Indian leaders, right? Of all leaders. And further, these leaders decided, right? So I will write and renamed Indian National Union as renamed Indian National Union as Ekmatan Union as Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress. Right. So its first session held at of Indian National Congress held at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Bombay, right, under the presidency of W.C. W.C. Anyway, we will stop here. We will continue it in tomorrow's session. Fine. Okay. Mutiny, right? That is of 1857. But that doesn't mean that it is the ultimate, right? So prior to that also there had been different rewards you can consider, right? Even you know, during Chhatrapati's period also, right, you must have come across some of the incidences. Right? So very first appearance of the Britishers was in the era of Mughal, and I think that I have said maybe in the very beginning of the modern history, right? Probably in the first session of the modern history. And then because of the expansion, because of the constructions of different mills, right, or industries, the rulers of different territories have come together, and they very first they opposed the Britishers, right? So that is the case you will be always considering, right? Fine. No. We have considered the history of Hindu kings, but it was not like the title as Hindu kings, as like Mughals, right? Mughal Empire. So there, instead of that, we have considered the mm, dynasties. Right? See, this is what you can consider the history. See, history will make you a perception, and this is nothing but the game of the perception. So what people wanted you to do, right? So accordingly, they will be writing it, and you will be calling it as, right? You will be calling it as. Right? See, everyone knows the contribution of Mahatma Gandhi for our country, but still there are two opinions. One is in favor of him, one is completely against of Gandhiji. Right? So this is all time there. So that is the uh, game of the perception, right? Why the